Hey, how you doing? Let's do it to it. Okay. Let's do a game. This is a this is London. It's the minor tournament. Night. It's London night 1899. He plays the two knights variation. One of my early brilliances. That's what Marshall said. He's white and his opponent's black. His opponent is Dr. F. J. Ezer. Ezer. E4, E5, knight F3, knight C6, and then bishop to C4. Knight B6, knight F6. Pawn to D4. Pawn takes pawn. White castled. And then knight takes pawn. It's kind of like an odd London, but on the other side, so I would have enjoyed playing the Max Lander attack after he played bishop c5, e5, d4, pawn takes knight, pawn takes bishop, and then rook to king e1 check. Bishop to king, bishop to e6, and then knight to knight 5 with an idea of attacking the bishop, pawn, and this pawn's under attack. So, but he went for more of a standard line, so rook e1, pawn b4, bishop takes pawn, queen takes bishop, knight to knight to c3. He can't take. If you're wondering, hold on, I'll get this. Queen d1, queen d8 was played. If you're wondering about this, this actually loses. D takes, loses a queen. So that's why queen e1. An illogical retreat. As long as the queen has been developed, why not play? Let me. Queen has been developed. Why not play it to right here? He is saying are even there, which is a better move, but he played this very illogical. Rook takes knight, check. Bishop here. I think the reason he wanted to do that was to protect the bishop with the queen and the knight. Knight takes pawn, so we're winning the pawn back. Knight takes knight. This allows white to command the queen file with great effect. It is therefore an inferior. So what he's saying is pawn to f5 is actually better than rook to f. Castles for black. Knight takes knight. Queen takes check. Knight takes, and then pawn takes knight. In which case the two bishops command somewhat are basic compensation for the weakening of the queenside pawns. So black has the two bishops, and see, black has a weak queenside now, but the two bishops make up for compensation. This move here does nothing to make up for compensation. It's actually a bad move. Now rook takes, and bishop d7, bishop d7, bishop to f4, queen to c8, to kind of get out of off that attack. It's not good. So let me see here. Knight to queen 5. This is to pick up the bishop. Bishop to queen 1. Queen rook 5 here. Double with an exclam after castles. White has worked up a mighty attacking position. One of the threats is let me see here, castles, is rook to c1 check, and if he didn't castle, the threat is rook c1 check. Rook e1 check, and then if bishop, so it'd be like if something like this happened, rook e1 or something. I'm trying to see. So castles, and then just one of the attacks, kinda. So bishop takes here is an exclam mark. So he says castling seems urgent and calls for some real fireworks to begin. That's what he says. Bishop takes exclam. Bishop to e6. The bishop is poised for positioned if bishop takes bishop. Knight, I'll show you here. This is what he was talking about. If you take here, knight comes in, and the bishop's poisoned, so he can't actually take. He has to play bishop there. Yeah, it's kind of interesting at this point. If bishop takes, knight check, king, this is a really interesting move. Winning the queen would be an interesting setup, But what's even better? Hello, mate. Hello. Your Anastasia's mate is welcome on the board. So that's why he played bishop to, hey. Oh, good. Hey, how you doing? But this is why he played, instead of taking, and getting mated, he plays bishop to e6 rather than that. And bishop just takes, and bishop takes the knight on d5. Hey, you can't have a bad day when you're doing chess. He's saying though, avoiding the combination of queen d8 check, but then the queen rook could actually slide over to ad1. I'm doing it from I'm translating this from English notation to algebraic. So it's, if I make a mistake, you gotta bear with me. I haven't done algebraic in a while, but I'm starting to do it. I'm getting better at it now. So bishop takes, bishop, and then bishop takes knight, and at this point we're going for a knockout 1-2 punch. Bishop e3 is our bishop c6 is actually played here. He's given a line that if you take, one second, did I miss something here? If queen takes, hold on. Queen takes bishop, rook. Hold on, what am I missing here? Oh, I got it. If queen takes bishop, gotcha. Then rook takes bishop. Queen takes rook. Queen takes queen. Rook takes rook. Rook takes rook. And then rook. Then king to b1, rook into d2, and rook b1, and then now we are basically passive. So this would be a passive move for white, and follows would be actually the king comes to, after this the king would come and he would have to retreat out. I think we'd still be okay. We'd still be okay, but a little too passive for the young Frank J. Marshall. Marshall was an attacker. So rather than that, he just white retreated his bishop out to f6, and the queen went, black queen went out to c6. If pawn takes, this was one of his ideas. Queen takes bishop, and what now you have is fractured queen king side, which for an endgame this is really good for a white. So bishop takes the pawn, king takes the bishop, and then queen takes the bishop, and rather than queen takes, which would actually have him down 2 pawns, Black tries to grab a pawn with queen takes c2, and I don't think that works out really well for him. Queen g5 check. Yeah, there was a mate a little further back. If he would have played a certain way, but he didn't. Oh no, there's no mate. There's no mate here because of this rook guards the back rank. There's a rook guard in the back rank. So check on g5. An even quicker win is rook to knight 5. Yeah, he did have a little one. This is Marshall. There is potentially one, but hey, how you doing? This is a faster win. Yeah, this is a faster win. And then now, queen to c5 check, pawn b3, and then queen to e7, and there's really no way to stop checkmate from happening. Yep, that's Frank. That's Frank J. Marshall. Yep. And this would end in mate. Kaboom! There you go. So he had a faster mate. I think he enjoyed kind of just prolonging the kill. Yeah, it's okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. Glad you're participating. That's what matters. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, I did the. You're right. I did the wrong check. Oops. The wrong notation. So, yep. This is a faster one. You got it. E5. Then there's a check, and he could actually come in, I think, via this way. Queen c7 is also a playable. Queen e7, I mean, check. King comes up the board, and then the rook basically is saying, I'm coming. So he could try to hold via that, but that'd be horrible because of this move, and then he's holding barely holding. He's coming up the board. This is actually an interesting sacrifice to check. King takes rook, and queen to rook 6. Oh, nice. Then he has to go king to g4. Pawn. He's just basically slowly dismantling him. And then queen takes the rook pawn, and he's actually wins the queen in that line. He's naughty. A really naughty move there. Boom. And then you have that middle point there. It's like, really? Alright. That was yeah, if he wanted to, there was actually one move back here on move 21 he said that he could have shortened a little bit of the agony. Let's see, what would that have been? Oh, right. Oops, sorry. Right here. If he had played rook f7. Then rook to knight 4 actually decides the whole game at that point. He has to actually come up, and then you just basically win. And then what's he gonna do? Uh-huh. Alright, now it's time for puzzles, since we did one of our books. I mean, one of our games. Let's set up the puzzles. Set up the puzzles. Yes, indeed. Okay. Clear the path. Oops, wrong king side. And then, oops, I have the pawns wrong there. Okay. Let's get the queen. Knight, rook, bishop, king, rook. I think we're good. Yep, let's do it. Oops. Dang, I don't know how that got turned on. That was weird. White to move. Make sure I enlarge this. There we go. Try a different one. Think Arabian mate. How would you set up an Arabian mate? What if he doesn't take, but hey, let's say, yeah, let's say he doesn't take. Let's say he plays queen takes e6. There you go. And there we went. Oops, board editor. Okay, dokie. Well, let's see how we do. Let's see. Okay, there. So far, so good. Okay. Now we gotta do pawns for white. No, white actually wins here. White actually wins here. It's mate and 2, so mate and 2. I need 1 queen, and this should be. Oh, that's funny. You guys are doing great. You know what? It's all about teamwork too. So if you have a question that you need, help on, be more than happy to do it. Let's do it. Okay. White to move and mate and 2. This should be a quick one for you. I solved it. I got it already. This is a really quick one. This is this is good. Let's see. Yep. You got it. You got it. Yep, you do. There you go. Another type of an Arabian mate there. Yeah, that was perfect. Good job. There we go. Let's see, is there anything else that we can do? No. It's called an Arabian mate because of the knight and the bishop, the knight and the rook were together, and it was first actually in I think it was first originated in India or something like that. So not to worry. Hey, it's all about improving. So not to worry at all. Okay. We have a knight and then a queen right there. And 1 king should do it. Okay, pawns. Let's see here. Here. There. Try to remember it from just from my memory where the pieces go, because Simon Williams says that's good for you to actually. Oops, I had to move that there. Let's see. Do I have it all? It's good for visualization always to do that. Oh no, yeah, I am. I'm doing it from Pogar, Daddy Pogar's book. It's not. These are just puzzles that we go over every night as just work problems. They're fun. It's chess. It's chess. 5,334 problems, combinations, and that's. It has an intro by Bruce Pontefini. Yep. It's a really good book. Susan's father had them do hundreds of puzzles. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yep, the Pogar. Yeah, he has a really good one. Oh wow, let's see. Let's see here. Yeah, you have another beautiful Arabian mate set up there. There we go. And then, like what you just said, if queen takes, but the queen intercepts instead, you actually have another Arabian kind of Arabian smother mate idea. You have rook takes g8. Yep. Our queen takes h7. Yep. You got all three. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, we do about like 12 a night, and then we work on our end game from the Jeremy Silman book, Endgame course. Do I need a bishop? Nope. Knight, rook, and then queen, three pawns, and one king. That should do it. Let's see. There's. We're good. Okay. This is another one. Spot on there. That is spot on. Yeah, here, and then you have another nice Arabian mate set up. He must be doing a lot of those puzzles. So I noticed that a lot of his puzzles have that set up right now. It's gonna get a little more difficult. Don't worry. Don't worry. The further you go in, the more tougher it gets. Oh, and you're more than welcome to join. If you want to, we have a club. It's called Team Chess Cruncher on allychess.org too. So you can join that too. Okay, knight, rook, queen. Okay, good. One off. So rook there. King is right here. There, queen. Okay, we should be good now. Good. Okay, everything's good. Oops, I need a. It would help if I had a king for black. Yeah, that'd help. There we go. So now we have a mate in two here. So let's see, what do we got? These are always the funner ones here. Yep, we got it. This move here, knight takes, and then there goes another mate. Kaboom. Let's get that set up. Alright. Should be good there now. Oh, wow, black's just one move too late. One move too late. Oh, hold on, let me pull it up. 1 second. Team Chess Cruncher. Right here. Alright. Alright. So let's see here. Interesting. So queen there, check. Rook takes, then mate. If queen here, king moves, then yeah. Yes. Welcome aboard, friends, to Team Chess Cruncher. So okay, do you have a line? Because this is an interesting one. There's actually two different mating setups. Some of them have like two different setups. They're pretty cool. Yep, you got it. And if rook takes, then rook d8, and then there's one more. Ah, perfect. Yep. If king moves, oops, what? How come the king doesn't? Let's see. Oh, the king can't move. Sorry about that. Drat. I thought the king could move. I guess the queen could intercept. Yeah, that would lead to mate as well. Okay. I was thinking something about moving the king, but I forgot he has his knight here. This is the mate I looked at. Okay. Yep. Good job. Nice. All right. Onward and upward onto the next page. We get to turn the page. Okay, let's see here. Right there. There. And here, so, and then we got a bishop, and then a queen, king, rook, and I think a knight, and Nope, no bishop there. There's a knight here, bishop there, and I think the king is right. Yep. And rook, queen, and one rook over here should do the trick. Let's see, there. Alright, perfect. There you go. Probably had something to do with a check or something. They sometimes come actually from games. Some of these actually do come from games. What could have happened too is the knight got here and then somehow a knight retreated or something. Yeah. So you actually take here. Yep. Takes and then rook e7. Well, it tells you that I'm studying from a book called Forcing Chess Moves. Pieces that in perspectives of humans that look kind of odd, and computers look at them, or engines look at them, or AIs look at them as opportunities on how better to set up a position. And I was like, wow. When I read that from that gentleman's book, I was like, didn't look at that. He says we have we come into chess with a bias to like moves. We'll say that weakens my pawn structure, or that my king moved, or I castle. Yeah. Oh, Alpha Zero, yeah, Game Changer. Yeah, Maurice Ashley said that was a pretty good book, and he really liked it. He said it was something to do. There was like a rook move that Alpha Zero did. It was, I believe, it moved its rook all the way back to H1. Not rook, bishop, queen all the way back to H1 in one move, and it was actually surprisingly a retreating move, but it was a winning move at the same time. So pretty impressive, gotta say. And they're not too proud to retreat their pieces either. The AIs aren't. They don't, think that it's a weakness to retreat their piece back if they've made an inaccurate move or a mistake. They'll regroup their pieces and then go for the knockout. Okay, this should be a good one here. And that's one thing I've kind of realized that I'm working on in my chess, is trying not to bring a chess bias in there that, oh, that's a bad move, because we dismiss sometimes some of the best moves chess players actually dismiss. And I was surprised when I found that out. It's like, wow. When I read that in that book, I was like, wow. Yeah. You gotta never underestimate your opponents. If take's there, then you have a mate. Because you never know. Sometimes they take time off. Bobby Fischer took a whole year off. And yeah, there's mate. And there's mate. And any move that doesn't either take the bishop or anything like that loses, so he's going to lose. Bobby Fischer took a whole year off when he went through a learning stage, and he learned all about endgame. He learned how the pawns worked, and he came back even stronger. So it tells you that sometimes endgame is where you are just pawn study is important. And like even Josh Waitzkins, when he lost his tournament when he was a kid, he took a whole year off with Bruce Pontifini, and they studied endgame, the rook and bishop endgame, for like a year. So it's okay to take some time off if you need to study. Just always, but the one thing you always got to remember is to study, because that sometimes when players take times off, they have a tendency to not study. You got to do your due diligence. Let's see here. I want to make sure. I hope I did that. I did that one right. Yeah. There. There. Yep. Yeah. There we go. Let's see here. Ugh. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, you could take the bishop here, but I was looking at that. See what am I overlooking here? Because I know there's the mates here. It's mate 2. Let's see, knight takes. See, my only concern about knight takes c2 is that he can play d5, and I think that holds at that point. I don't really see a way he can checkmate. I think I got it. I got the move. I know what it is. No, that can't be because of here. I was thinking king there, but then he has a check, so that doesn't work. I think you're right on that. D5. But he has, knight E5. He's got D5. And that stops the idea that we're wanting to play. Excuse me. Yeah, this is the setup. It's kind of interesting to say the least. Oh, I got it. Uh, D4. No, E5 loses to a check. We actually go D. That's the move there. And passing. We use the in passe rule to actually block the bishop from taking our knight. Yeah. Took me a second to think. All we had to do is block that attack and we win. That was a tough one, huh? That was really tough. Interesting. That's okay. Hey. Yeah. But if you want to go for the KO, then you're going to have to you got to go as he says, you got to be strong, and you gotta look past the material. That's what the author also says, is it's not about the material, it's about the win. And also, I don't agree with it, but he says that it's that computers use brute force and they punish their opponents for their mistakes. I think it's this: they take advantage of them and they get to show the inaccuracies of the move. You know what? Yeah, we shouldn't. The computers don't bring any emotions into it, so and the engines don't. So what we should say is that they find, yeah, and that's the whole thing. And I agree. You just say that it's by brute force. Uh-oh, I missed in a queen. I knew I forgot something. Hold on. That would help. Kaboom. There we go. Now we're good. Now let's see if we can find if they kind of ease up on the intensity a little bit. We got to turn that frown, as I like to say it, upside down. You got to be happy. You got to be happy. You got to turn that frown upside down and say, I learned something really good. Yep, there you go. If you got it. The one thing I always say is I don't never miss it. I get to learn something that I didn't see. Because the only time it matters is when you're in OTB over the board. That's when it matters. Right now, it's about learning and having a good time. And the hardest part is actually to follow one person's own advice sometimes. I find myself getting, when I study, I get a little too sometimes carried away with my intensity. So I have to, as they say, engines forgive their mistakes and they learn from them. And that's how a chess player should be. Forgive their mistakes and learn from them. And when you do, then you'll become a better player. Okay. Let's see. Did I get that right? Yep. So far, so good. Everything's good. Yep. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we got us a quick mate. Mate 2. Okay, so what does black do then? You got it right. Great job. What does black do and what does white do? Yep. You got her. Nice job. One more and then we start into the end game. I like the end game. I truly do like the end game. Truly, truly, truly. Yep, there. Yep, you got it. Yep, you got her. There you go. All right. Great job, team. Okay, so now onward to, we're going to be studying bishop endgames. Hip hip hooray. Oh yeah, Maurice actually talked about something similar to that. How computers actually analyze from the end game to the opening. They analyze from the end game to the opening. Engines do. We look at it this way. They look at it that way. Or we look at it this way, and they're looking at it the other way, or this way, or however you want to say it. Okay, studies. Let's do it too. Let's make our endgame study. Make sure I have everything right. Yep. Okay. Bye. Be blessed, and I'll see ya. And you're more than welcome always to come back. Bye bye. Okay, here it is. We're looking at a bishop of actually we've looked at bishops of opposite color endgames, but what our opponent what happens if bishops are the same color, where the where the perspective of opposite colored bishops give the defender hope of drawing. The same color bishops usually guarantee the side with the extra pawn serious winning chances. So, in your opinion here, is it white to win or white to draw? White to win or white to draw? What do you think the result for white's going to be, a win or a draw? With what we just read about how bishops of opposite colored have a better drawing chance, bishops of same colors have a better chance of winning. So when it's a pawn, it doesn't matter because they're the same color. So what do you think? Is it a win or a draw with what Jeremy Silma just told us? So I'm sure that. Okay, good. A little laggy. Sorry about that. It's actually a win. When up a pawn, this is what he says. With no other pawns remaining, the stronger side has winning chances. If the pawn is advanced, and if the defending king isn't able to get in front of it, in general, a situation will often be reached where the defending bishop is preventing the pawn from advancing. an immediate draw will result if it can sacrifice itself for the last pawn. Okay. This one, okay, hold on. Let me see. Enable to king front. Okay, draw. All right. The stronger side will only win if his own bishop can block the diagonal. If the defending bishop on this one we're talking about here, a simple example of this would be, what do you think the best move would be? Yep, you got it. Bishop e5 is actually winning here. King g6 and bishop c7. And even if the weaker side's bishop is on the long diagonal, it doesn't matter. This diagonal here, the a8 to h8 diagonal, it doesn't matter. You still can block it. So now we're going to be doing another diagram. The game is still in the bag, as Jeremy Silva would say. It doesn't matter. It's still in the bag. Study. Let me make sure it's white to move. Yep, white to move. Good, good, good. And there we go. Just want to make sure I have. Just give me a second. Okay. Is this a win or a draw for white? What's your opinion, my friends? It's up to you. You're the one who has the move. You're white to move. Is it white to win and move, or white to draw and move? And you kind of have a move for white. What type of move would you think that white should start out with? Oh, you want to take a second? Okay. I'll give you a minute to think. Okay. Are you sure? It's actually a win here. This is a win. Now that you know it's a win, what would be a winning move for white? Now that you know it's a win, what would be a winning move for white? You kind of have a move in mind for white. That's a good try. It's actually bishop a5, king g6, and then bishop to d8 to challenge. This ends black's domination of the long diagonal, so it's all over. So bishop e1, bishop e7, bishop a5, and then bishop d6. And the idea is now we're going to block via this way, and he doesn't really have enough time. And this time when we're blocking here and he moves, we'll be able to queen. So he's going to win. To have any drawing chance, the defending king must be directly in front of it for counter in the counter part of the situation. So we're going to set up one now. Another one here this is a little different, so got to have it be wet to move. The rule in this kind of endgame, center pawns win only if the defending king isn't on top of the action. So in this situation, center pawns only win, the rule is, if the defending king is not on it. So if the king was over here, then it's winning. If the king is right here, then it's losing. Let me see, does he have moves for this one? No, he doesn't have any moves. Oh yeah, he does. White's normal winning idea of chasing the bishop to a8 to d8 diagonal. Let me make this a study. Hold on, I didn't make this study. I forgot about that. Okay, he says that the bishop. Okay, chasing the bishop. Okay. All right, bishop d8. Or is that e8? d8. Sorry, bishop d8. And bishop e1. Bishop g5. Bishop a5, and bishop d2, bishop b6, bishop f4, and a5 fails to make any progress. This because now the king's here. Do you see the bishop can't come in now to c7 anymore. It's covered. Yeah, this is a draw. The c7 square is covered by the black bishop and king. White's king is frozen since it needs to defend the d-pawn. Black will never run out of tempos since he can shuttle his bishop from all the way back here, from e8 or e1 to f to e and all those different squares. It just moves. He just moves it back and forth, and he's going to eventually draw. That actually happens. This shuffle defense isn't possible if the pawn is a bishop pawn. Then the side diagonal is shorter and Zugzwang will appear on the board. So we're going to get to learn how this applies when it's a bishop pawn, not a center pawn. We're going to learn how this works with a bishop pawn. He doesn't have the shuffling capability that he has when it's these center pawns, D or E. That's a way you can draw a game. If you accidentally kind of, as they say, chess players sometimes don't make the best moves, and they're able to get down to this. You can say you're going to learn how to save a lost game, or win a one game that seems like it's drawn. So either way, it's a win-win. Uh-oh. What in the world happened there? That was interesting. Wow, that's different. Maybe if I clear the board and set it up afresh from a new one, that it won't cause the computer to have a hiccup there. Wow, that was different to say the least. Let's do analysis board and then go through to it with study that way and see if we can't have it work now. Oh, I need to create a new study. Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. Now, this is winning. This is actually one endgame here. Bishop's same color. White's first order of business is to chase black's bishop off the a3 to f8 diagonal. He does this by first going. Bishop to g7, bishop b4, and then bishop to f8, bishop d2, and then bishop c5 to try to cut off as much as you can. Bishop h6. Our first goal has been reached. Our first goal has been acquired. And he's now in a Zugzwang position. Bishop h6, and now we play bishop d4. And he doesn't have enough spots. If he goes here, we take it. If he goes here, we take it and we win. So this is an exclam move right here. Yeah, it's kind of, we'll go over it again a little slower. First of all, bishop g8, bishop g8, bishop b4. We're trying to trade off, and we go, nope, nope. He's like, I'm not going to do it. He goes bishop d2. Then we're like, okay. Then we're just going to buy some time, and we don't want you coming back here, but we don't want you coming here. And if you come here, it's fine. If you come here, it's fine. Doesn't matter, we've got a queen. So the only move that he could play is there, and then at this point, bishop d4. And we cover here, and the king covers there, and once the bishop moves, it's all over, and the king, black's king has to move away, and he's in something called mutual Zugzwang. Or he's in Zugzwang, not us, mutual, but Zugzwang he is in. Suddenly black has no good move. The bishop, moving the bishop off to h6 and f8 diagonal lets white make a new queen. White moves like bishop g7, loses to his bishop hanging, so we take that. And there's really nothing you can do now. The idea of shorter defense diagonals means that one's winning chance improves when the pawn is a bishop pawn or a knight pawn. So and then now let's see what it's like for a knight pawn. How this winning chance could actually arise. So we're going to be doing a knight pawn now. Okay. This is actually a study by L. His name. This is the person's name. I believe. I hope I'm doing it right. It was in 1847. That was the name, I think. Let me see. Yeah. So far so good. Yep. That was the study, if you wanted to go over it. White wins by chasing the black bishop off the h2 and b8 diagonal onto the shorter a5 to oops, I have to make this a study. I forgot about that. Just give me a second here. You chase it off of this diagonal, and you chase it on to this one here, and then you actually prevent it from advancing. So queen to h4 is first. Not a4. Queen h4. Bishop f4. Bishop f2, bishop h2, Bishop a7, bishop g3 to keep in contact with these 2 points. Bishop b8, bishop f2, bishop f4, bishop a, and then now what's the exclam move here? This is the exclam move that wins. I'll give you a second to think about it. I'll be right back. Give you a second. You're white. There's just one move that wins. How do we know when we win in those positions? It all depends on if you can stop your opponent, and you're exactly right, this actually gets an exclam. So congratulations on finding that. And how do we know? Well, if in this position here, if you are able to basically cut the bishop off from coming back, or he can't come here. If the bishop can't guard this guard the queen's square, you want to stop that. I'll show you like this here. First of all, in this scenario, it doesn't matter if it's black or white. If black has a pawn here, or black has a pawn here, or white has a pawn here, same type of movements arise. Here, he stays there. You draw him off. F4, just so you stay out of reach of the king. F4 is to stay out of reach of the king. And then at that time you pull. He has to, if he plays b6, you take b6, and or you can actually play b6 and then queen, and you still win. But I'd just take here, b6 takes, and then queen. So he's actually trapped. His bishop's trapped. He has to trade. If he doesn't trade, he loses his bishop. So you'll know you've won when their bishop is trapped like this. And yeah, the idea for white to win is by chasing the bishop off the h, back here, chasing the bishop off of the h2 to b8 diagonal. That's what Jeremy Stillman says. Onto the a7 to g to g8 diagonal. Or sorry, g1 to a7 diagonal. Sorry. Yeah. So you wanna get it off of this diagonal here. You want it to end up being on this diagonal, and then therefore you can pull it off, and then queen. That's kind of the idea. Here we get let's see. We get to actually go over another one of these. So you gotta love it. We love it when a plan comes together. Black to move. What do you think? Black only has one good move to cause some chaos to white. What move causes chaos? To white. What move? This is black to move. Black to move. Yeah. What move does black play? It's kind of one you're gonna have to put aside all of your like bishop moves. Look at a king move. There's only one king move that causes white some chaos, but white ends up reconsolidating and winning. But this move puts a little bit of agony to white. To white. There's one move. It's not a bishop move. So what do you think the move is for black? I'll give you 1 minute to decide, and then we'll go through the line. What the first move is. I'm giving you, it's an exclam. So you get the honor of doing an exclam move. It's not a bishop move. Are you doing king? Did you mean a king? If you meant king b5, you're right on. Yep, bang. That's right. Good job. That's actually it's black's best. This move actually is an exclam. It sets up. It limits the bishop from being able to go to. See, the bishop wants to actually go to e5, but now it can only go to f4, and it's because it limits where the bishop can go to. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. Okay. So bishop f. Hold on. What am I doing here? Hold on. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is the wrong setup here. I apologize. This is. I am sorry that I got this one mixed up. Hold on. It's this one back here. Let's see. Where am I? Hold on. I gotta make sure I have this one right. Let's see. Where in the world? I gotta make sure I have this one. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. I think he had the bishop in the wrong spot here. Yeah, he had the bishop in the. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Now we got it. Oops, sorry. There it is. We'll get this. Don't worry. We'll get it. We'll get it. I have to delete this. He went king b5, f2, king a6. Suddenly black has prevented bishop a7. Can white still win here with this setup here? Can white still win? Do you see the move? White only has one good move here. There we go. White has only one good move here. It's not bishop h. That's close. Give it one more shot. I'll give you one more minute to think about. You're right. It is bishop. But you have to put it on the right. Your idea is to swing it to c7. How would you be able to swing it to c7 without the king coming over and causing some problems? This is a vital diagonal. You have to keep it on this. This diagonal here is a vital. Give you till 10:02 and then I'll do it. I'll give you one more. Okay. Yep, you got it. You got it. Bishop c5. Congratulations on that. That was a tough one to see. Bishop e5. Black will rush his king back to c6, but he cannot do it yet since king b5 is met by bishop a7, and that's what we want. So bishop to e7, king b5. White wins by playing bishop d8, king c7, or king c6. It seems like black has stopped white again, but now a nice maneuver shows that this game is in fact over, and the move is bishop to f6 exclam. The game is over, set, match, and done. He tries holding on with bishop f4, bishop d4. Now we can get into our idea of coming around. Black can no longer keep the bishop from a7 anymore. Yep. So bishop has to go to g3, bishop a7, bishop f4, bishop b8, bishop a7. Okay, a7, bishop f. Let's hold on. What did I? Let's see. I gotta do this 9. Okay, there. Bishop e3. And then bishop to g3. Bishop a7, and then now, what's the final blow? What's the final blow here? And then we'll pick up tomorrow the next one. What is the final move here for white to win? This is the last, as Jeremy Silman says, the last nail in the board, or the last beam that goes up to complete the house, or the roof. The final roof is put on your house. What's our linchpin, or whatever they call it? What is the move? Yes, you've got it. Kaboom, and it's resignation at this point. Game, set, match. This leaves us with one more question from our last diagram. Why was bishop c5 the only way to win? Wouldn't bishop e3 just would just be as effective? It's important that you you understand the answer to this question. So we have to go and back to move 3 really quick right here. You're wondering probably why c5 is played instead of bishop to e3, and he's going to explain it really quick. The answer to this question is bishop d6, bishop g5, bishop d, king c6, and then bishop to e7, bishop h2. And c5 isn't possible due to you actually get taken at that point. But because of this here, he had to actually move because this move here allowed us to control, and we could go to d4 instead. But because back here instead of c5 we played bishop e3, now the problem is when we don't have the ability to go to c5. Last time the bishop was here, and let me see, where was that? Move 6, f6, and then when the bishop moved we had d4 to infiltrate onto. Yeah, exactly. It's this bought us this C file. This actually bought us the ability. This bought us d4. This move here. Otherwise, what would happen is we don't have any in routes, and it's a plain old draw. Yep. Exactly. If it's a rook Lucinda, and it's on the 7th, you have to, as Jeremy Silman says, you have to be this far away if the pawn's here. The king has to be, the enemy king has to be over here, and you have to have a rook here. We'll have to go over that too. Eventually, we're gonna do a refresher at the end of the book. We're gonna refresh all the way back and do a once over, and that'll be good for our understanding. But he says c5 isn't possible due to king takes. Therefore, bishop, this move here, bishop c5, was very important since it stopped black from moving his bishop to d6, which in turn allowed white to successfully swing his bishop from g1, a7, and avoid contact with black's king. Let's repeat the slight difference. He actually goes over it again, and we're going to be learning the century rule. In the middle of the 9th century, there was a position that is Zugzwang, and he gets to tell how it is. So we'll pick up this tomorrow, because I'll have to set up Century's position. It's a longer section. It's all based on to know when a draw is a draw with your bishop, and it'll actually tell you if it's a draw or a win. And Century actually did it. Was the one who set that position up. Do you have any questions? And if you want to go over the what we just studied, it's on Endgame 1 course and then Endgame 2 course. So I had to create a second one, so we're gonna. A lot of our stuff's gonna spill over into the second study. So you're gonna have to, if you're wondering, like, wait, where in the world's this? Why isn't it on the first one? I didn't have enough room. After 64 positions, you have to get a new study. So do you have any questions before I log off, or do you have a game you want to go over? Okay. Okay, I will say a do. I wanted to thank you for all logging on and participating. We're gonna get this. You know what? Every day, like what Yazir Sermon says, every long journey begins with one small step. So you know what? Every day that you come on and we go over our Frank J. Marshall's best games of chess and our puzzles, and then we do our end game. That's one more step to the long down the long journey to you, my chess friends, our chess cruncher friends, getting your rating that you wanted, your title. And it's so worth getting the title, trust me. You'll be able to teach, and even grandmasters can learn from you know other grandmasters. So it's not like, never be afraid to have learn from another grandmaster when you get the title. And when you think, what you think about affects how you act and stuff. So we need to think about the Lord Jesus and honor him that way by using the talent that he's given us, and never taking for granted the talent. I remember there was a saying that I read on it was of course on the Facebook thing. There was a Facebook thing that said long um, talent no, hard work will basically defeat talent, because talent won't work. And that's a sad fact that I was like, I constantly keep replaying that in my mind, because the Lord's given me a talent in chess, and I don't want to have that saying be part of my play or my study, that talent does won't work, but hard work will, and hard work will beat talent. I'm like, wow. And every time I think about like not doing that, I constantly remember that. I also remember, as it is written, that you have to be ready in season and out of season. You have to. I always keep that in the back of my memory with what Paul said. Paul said that, and you know what? We have to be ready in season and out of season. Bruce Lee even talked about that with knowing is not enough, you must apply. Willing is not enough, you must do. He also said that there are no limits to the human potential, but there are plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond them. You must not ever be satisfied to stay at the plateau you're at. It's painful to go beyond it, but it's so worth it, my friends. When you get that rating and you get to share it with your family and stuff, and you get to share your knowledge with your family, and then you get to start a podcast and get to share it on YouTube and all that. It's so worth it. Bruce Lee also said that you know what? He didn't fear the person who practiced 10,000 individual kicks. He feared the person who practiced one kick 10,000 times. And I always think of Rusty talking to the little engine. If you think you can, you will. If you think you can't, you won't. Either way, you're right. And you know what? We have to treasure our victories and learn from our losses, and remember that mistakes do not define us. It's how we handle the mistake that defines us. As a chess player and as a person in general, in any field that you're at. And you know what? When your friends are playing or family members are playing, and you're whatever, and you're studying, and you know that you have it over the board, and you're going to be ready, and you know that you're maybe a norm or so away from getting that title. You have the rating number that's just right. You just need that norm, and you're studying, and most aren't. and they come over and say, you want to come do this? You have to always remember the chest cruncher ism, that, you know what, I hang up my coat, I hang up my hat, I sit down and study when most won't. A chest cruncher does, and that makes all the difference. And one last chest cruncherism: don't give up, knuckle down, and get back up. And as Wesley so says to the Lord Jesus, and as I say, God bless, and I'll see you next time on Chest Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, evening, and Lord willing, I'll be back on tomorrow. And we'll keep pushing forward and improving and striving for a greatness in chess to honor the Lord always. Great job. Go Team Chest Cruncher, hoorah. Be blessed, and we'll learn about the L Century position tomorrow, and it's going to be fun in our end game. So come back and join us. If you like what you see, click follow, and also tell a friend and have them bring them in and have fun with chess. Okay, be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.